Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything from hair to fashion to skincare products. We'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, hairstyles, and anti-aging remedies. And we'll cover all of the newest fashion trends. If you have an interest in or questions about the beauty and fashion trends that might work best for you, the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast has got you covered.
Hello, my beautiful friends, and thank you for tuning into the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Colleen, and let's get into this. Today on the Beauty Podcast, I definitely want to talk about makeup as our primary focus. Next podcast, we could talk about hair and fashion, that's fine. But today, the topic is makeup. And the one thing that most people who are going to give you beauty tips don't want to talk about, which is how much is too much. Now, I assume you guys, girls, aliens, whatever you identify with out there, are watching YouTube. I assume you're watching all these beauty guru things, trying to figure out what look you want for prom, what look you want for Christmas, that kind of thing. But I think that you need to take a step back when it comes to that. Now, the eye makeup, beautiful, stunning, love it. Definitely helpful, giving you step-by-step tips on how to get that specific, Christmas look. But when it comes to the base makeup, there is a thing as too much. Most of them are taking their time to definitely show you their routine with this full coverage foundation and this full coverage concealer and this, all this full coverage. But you gotta take a step back and think. These people have these great big lights that are on them. Their room is probably completely dark, except they've got these bright lights that are on them that make their skin look flawless, no matter if there are pimples or not. And when they're taking this full coverage foundation under these lights and on camera and putting it all over their face and showing you showing you what to do, it looks stunning and flawless and just, the creme de la creme. But if you met them outside, after they do their thing, they go outside and they go for lunch and you see that person, you're going to realize that their makeup is definitely a lot thicker than you thought it looked when you saw the video. And that's because of the camera and the lights. So if you're going out to find any sort of base makeup, don't go full coverage. I mean, you can if you want to, if you like that look, but I'm telling you, it's not gonna look as good as it looks in those videos. Now, if you are looking for your base makeup, your foundation and your primer and your concealer, then I definitely think that you should start off by going into what your skin type is. See, I, for one, have dry skin. Like, my skin is the Sahara Desert. Sahara, I don't know. But my skin is the Sahara Desert. So anything that's like full coverage is meant for more oily skin types. And if I put that on my face, I look like a mess. I look like a cakey mess. And that's the whole thing when it comes to this, is the fact that I look like a mess because of my dry skin. Now, if you have oily skin, there are a lot of full coverage foundations that will work for you because they're trying to combat those oils and make you look real matte. Now, I can't do anything that's matte because I am so dry. But if you're oily, you can go that route, and full coverage might be for you, but you do have to understand that in the end of the day, it is makeup. makeup that looks like makeup on your skin. It doesn't look like your skin, but better. So, tips for you, if you do have a full coverage foundation, you're realizing it's not looking so good, and you don't want to waste it because that stuff is expensive. Do less. Do less starting from the middle of your face going outwards. Don't put it all over your face in this heavy layer because it's not helping you. Do less. If you have dry skin and you bought a matte foundation because, that's what your favorite beauty blogger or Instagrammer was selling that day and you want to look just like them, but it's not working out for you, pick a primer that's more your skin type. So if you're dry and you've got this foundation for an oily skin type, pick a primer that is going to make you dewy. Something that'll hydrate the skin, very hydrate the skin, and then you can put it on in small, sheer layers. Small, sheer layers are the way to go. You go with these small sheer layers and you build up as needed. You're not going to get all those wrinkles on your face, all the lines around your mouth, the creases in your forehead. I don't know, crow's feet. I don't know who you are. But you gotta understand that working in these small sheer layers will really bring out that inner beauty so you can shine from underneath. You gotta work on it. You just gotta work with what you've got and make it you. So, base products. Base products is what we're going on. If you are trying so very hard to be a beauty blogger, beauty influencer, then maybe you can put on the full beat, as the kids would say. I'm not hip. I'm sorry. But it's going to look great in your Instagram photos, and if you Facetune, that helps too. But you want to look good, just as good as you look in your photos, outside of those photos. When you're, outside in the real world, like regular human people do. So, I really want to stress that what you're seeing is not what you're going to get. So, when looking for base products, go based off your skin type. And start from something light coverage to medium coverage. If you want to go full coverage, if you need that covering and if you need that, then you can go that way. But start sheer and build up as needed. Don't just cake it on and be like, wow, I have a blank mannequin face canvas. Yes, you look like a mannequin. You don't look like a people. Unless you're going for that look, because if you really are going for that alien look, then 100% go for it. That's on you. But if you're looking for a more natural you, something that looks like you and feels like you, then go with something that's going to be a little sheer to kind of bring out you. You want base products that are going to make you look like you and not you look like, I don't know, Photoshop, but not good. In my personal opinion, you see those people. You see the people on the side of the road. You see the people, at the mall or at your shops or wherever you go, restaurants. And you can tell when they're wearing a lot of makeup. And you don't want to be that. You want to be you. So choose foundations that go with your skin type. And that goes with concealer too. You don't always need a full coverage concealer. Everybody's got dark circles, everybody's got this. Some people have hyperpigmentation, and those full coverage can really help with that. But you don't need something so full coverage. Once again, thin, light layers, build it up, get to the place that you want to be. Don't start out and just slam it on and hope for the best and you gotta start like there. You gotta start light and build, light and build, like you're building a sandcastle. So if I'm gonna put on my concealer, I also want a concealer that's going to be hydrated because my under eyes are also dry. If you are oily everywhere but your under eyes are dry, then you might want to go for a hydrating concealer. If you are dry everywhere but your under eyes are kind of oily, then you want to go for a mattifying concealer. Once again, go by your skin type, and I promise you it will help so much. It'll help you out so much, and you'll see a difference, and you'll just be like, what? Is that me? That's me. And I look good. So, now that we're talking about this, once again, your base products. Your base products need to work with your skin type, and don't cake it on. I mean, if you're really looking for that cakey look, then go for it. Like, do you. Makeup is fun. Makeup is not meant to be one way or the other, but I really do want to stress that if you're really using it to enhance your natural look, your anything like that, or, cover some dark circles, or, kind of make you look more awake, then definitely use products that work with your skin type. That's something that these beauty influencers, bloggers, vloggers, whatever you want to call them, do, but they don't stress it enough because they're using products that are, sent to them or popular or whatever. And that's okay, but I really want to stress that you don't have to use what they use. You can use whatever you have on hand, whatever you want, and you can make it work for you, but try and get things that are going to work for your skin type. I have sensitive skin, so there are a lot of things that I can't use because my skin will break out and this and that, and base makeup is catering to you. You need to cater it to yourself and not to somebody else. And I really want to stress that. Now, when it comes to other products, you could, if you're drier, cream products will work better for you for contour and highlight, and maybe don't use powder, and that's okay. But if you're very oily, then powder is going to help you so exponentially. Then I would use a powder bronzer and a powder highlight. That kind of thing. And I really want to stress that these things will help you look so much better. Now, I want to talk about what we've been talking about. Let's bring it back around for a second. So, first off, we talked about how you don't need to use the same products that your favorite influencers are using. Use products that are catered to your skin. You don't need to wear a matte foundation if you're dry. You don't need to wear a hydrating foundation if you're oily, but you can, and that's okay. Just work in small, sheer layers. Trust me, you will thank me for this. I really want to stress work in thin layers. Thin, light, beautiful, stunning layers. But also, if you want that look, it's okay. It's okay to have that over-the-top, way too much makeup look if that's what you're going for. If you're going for something natural, something to enhance the beautiful you that you already are, then just stick with those light, thin layers and work up as you need it. Concealers don't need to be full coverage. You can use light coverage concealers and you're still going to look stunning. You're still going to look like a beautiful you. I mean, you're beautiful no matter what. I promise you that. But I really cannot stress enough how much that, people notice, and it's okay. If you want to be noticed, then go for it. You do you. You wear your green highlighters and your, 10 layers of makeup because that's who you are and that's okay. But if you're older and you just need a little concealer or this and that and you've got some really dry skin, it's okay to go sheer, thin layers and no powder. Or if you're real oily, you could go just powder and that's okay. Just connect with yourself and pick and choose. Pick and choose what works the best for you. What works the best for you is the main thing. How much is too much for you? How much is way too much for you? I know how much is too much for me, and that's my own fault. That is my own fault. But let's talk about what we're going to talk about after this break. I would like to talk about contouring. Another thing that you see, how much is too much contouring? Where to contour? Do I have to contour? Is it weird if I don't? Is it weird if I do? Can I contour my dog? Should I contour my friends? What is highlighting? Send help, please, and I'm here to help. I'm here to help you figure out what is contouring. Do you need it? Do you not? And how much? How much is too much when it comes to this or that?
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Talked about choosing a foundation that is right for you, based on your own skin type, what works best for you, and to work in light, thin layers, sheer, thin layers. Just things that'll work the best for you to make you look like the best you. Now, let's get on to talking about contour. Do you need it? Is it for you? Is it for me? Is it for them? Is it weird if I do? Is it weird if I don't? Well, let me tell you. So, I used to not contour because I wasn't sure what it was. You see it and you think Kim Kardashian, or one of those big name people that they contour, and you see those Instagram videos and they've got that thick brown underneath all their base and their foundation, and it sculpts and chisels and blah. But you don't need that. Once again, how much is too much? When it comes to contouring, I contour so lightly you can barely tell. The places I contour the most are my cheekbones, right under my cheekbones, where if you touch right by your tragus, which is the little triangle bit of your ear, and you go forward and you feel that kind of divot down, that's where you want to contour. That's where you want to put a darker shadow color to kind of accentuate, give you more chiseled cheekbones like Angelina Jolie or, I don't know, Instagram people. I don't know. But that's where you want to put that, or at least that's where I put that, to just chisel my face out a little bit to try and enhance my cheekbones a bit more. Now, I have very light skin, so I go with a color that is very cool toned to mimic a shadow. And I go very, very light-handed. You can use a cream for this or a powder. Once again, going back to what we talked about in the first bit of this podcast, is if you've got dry skin, you can use a cream contour and it might be a little bit better than a powder. But if you've got oily skin, then maybe you should just stick to powders. But once again, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you feel is best. I particularly just use powder, even though I am dry. I use just a little bit, going down about maybe 1 inch to 2 inches, and then blending all around. I don't blend just down or just up. If I'm blending that color just up, it's going to give me, it's gonna give me like a weird shape, for my face at least. If I pull it just down, it's gonna give you that zombie cheek, that like way too sucked in. So, oh, excuse me. I'm kicking things over here. Who am I? So, if you take your brush or your sponge or whatever, and you kind of swirl it when you're tapping or when you're blending, it's going to get a little high and a little low, but keep in that same area to give you a nice, regular, chiseled out cheekbone. Now, there are people who contour their jaw along the bottom to give them a thinner, slimmer looking jaw, and people who contour up above towards the top of your forehead to give you a slimmer looking forehead. Now, I got a forehead, let me tell you. I got a big forehead. And I still don't do it just because I'm not a fan of the way it looks. Now, do you need to contour? No, you don't need to. You don't have to, and it's okay if you don't. Is it weird if you don't? No, it's not weird if you don't. Do you need to? Do you have to? No, it's completely up to you. I do it because I like the subtle effect that I get when I do just under. I've done makeup where I have contoured people's jawlines and I've done their cheekbones and their foreheads and they look great, but once again I stay with that light thin layer because once you put it on, it's harder to get off. It's harder to take away than it is to put on more. So always start with that light little layer. And don't go off of somebody else's face chart. So if you see Kim Kardashian and you see her, how they cream contour her, which they do before they put on the foundation to blend it underneath. You can put it over, but I would suggest putting it under. But if you look at the shape that she uses and you use it for your face, it might not work. You need to go along with what your face is. I've got more of a square-shaped face. She's got more of an oval-shaped face. So if I used it, I would look ridiculous. It really comes to what your face looks like. Your shape, your own personal preferences. If you want the higher cheekbones, if you want a lower cheekbone. Some people contour their nose if they want a thinner nose, or maybe a wider bridge, or what have you. It's all, once again, down to personal preference and down to light, thin layers when you're starting. You don't need to contour, but it is fun to do, especially if you're just kind of at home doing nothing. You want to kind of contour and see what you can achieve. That's the best way to find where you like it the most, if that's the route you want to go. Now, another key point to highlighting, or to contouring, is highlighting. Wow, I'm good at this, wouldn't you know? So, highlighting is really important when you're contouring, because that's going to lift the spots that you haven't touched with that shadow. So, once again, I contour just my cheekbones. When I lightly contour under my cheekbones, I like to take a highlighter and put it on the top of my cheekbones to bring those cheekbones up and forward once again. Sometimes I put it right in between, kind of on the bridge of my nose, in between my eyebrows because mine dips in and it bothers me, and I put it there. And it kind of brings that forward as well. Also on the Cupid's bow, the little M shape where your lips are, the Cupid's bow, if you put a little there, it makes your lips go forward a little bit. Sometimes on the forehead, if you want a little more depth, you can put highlight on your nose if you want. I'm not a fan, because I got a pretty big nose. It's there. People see it. I don't want to highlight that. But if that's what you want to do, then you can highlight it. Those highlights help to balance out those contours as well. If you're just contouring and you don't really have any highlighted areas, everything looks a bit flat. But once again, that's your personal preference. Now, what you see when you're looking at your influencers, once again, we're back to that, is these bright, sparkly, in-your-face highlights where it looks wet on the cheek and just stunning and this and that. But you don't have to do that. There are very subtle highlights that you can use that'll still give you that same brought forward effect. You can even use matte powders, but in my personal opinion, the shimmerier ones, shinier, wet looking highlights look a little bit better. And I really think that, once again, it's up to personal preference. I like shiny, wet-looking highlight, but that's my personal preference. I don't think it looks good on everybody. I did a friend's wedding makeup a few months back, and she's stunning, and I love her, and she looked great, and I highlighted her cheeks, but I didn't use a lot of highlight because I wanted to bring out her natural radiance without just looking like she's got a lot of sparkle on her cheek. And I used a regular, more champagne-y color to work well with her skin tone. If I remember not to use a too dark highlight, because it'll combat those shadows as well. I used a nice champagne-y color to complement her skin tone, but nothing that was way too beaming to be distracting. Something that was just nice enough to enhance those beautiful features that she has. Now, there are green highlighters and gold highlighters and pink highlighters, and that, once again, is up to your preference. If you want to look like an alien, wear that hot green highlight all over, do it. Do you. Do what's going to make you feel the best. But if you're looking for, once again, that natural you, that natural beautiful you, I mean, once again, you're stunning, take a look at yourself. Just find a mirror, walk around, find a mirror, look in your car mirror, wherever you listen to this, look at yourself. You're beautiful, and you know it. So, enhance that beauty. Take that beauty and enhance it. And you can do that with contour and highlight, but you don't need to contour and highlight. You could do just your base makeup and maybe some mascara and you're fine. You don't need the contour and highlight. But it's there to help enhance if that's really what you want. Don't make... You know what? Don't let the internet people, don't let the people on the internet make you feel like you need to highlight and contour. Don't make them make you feel like this. Don't make them... Give me a second while I regain my words here. Don't let them make you feel like this is what you need to do to look beautiful, because it's not. It's not. You are beautiful the way you are. When all your strangeness and your weirdness and all the freckles on your face or the, I don't know, you got weird pigmentation, and that's beautiful because it's uniquely you and you don't need to do this. You don't need to put makeup on if you don't want to. I'm just saying that it, if you want to enhance a little bit or you're going to an interview and you just want to look a little more professional, a little more fancy, then it does help. Or if you're going to a fancy date or a dinner party or whatever, then it's nice to do, but don't feel like you need to. Don't feel like it's a must-do. Just do what you want to do. And contouring and highlight can really help, but don't go overboard. There is such thing as too much. There are a lot of people, and you see those big brown streaks on the side of their face. Some people love it that way, and I mean, do you? But if you're going for a nice contoured, subtle look, then don't do those big brown stripes on your face. You just kind of look like you rubbed a brown marker on your face, and it's a bit much. Really start in those light, sheer layers, those just thin, light, sheer layers, and go from there. Trust me, it'll help. But also, you don't have to use contour or highlight. Highlight is just personal preference. I like a really wet highlight. Like I said, I think it looks stunning when you're just, dripping with water. I don't know how to explain it. And it does look beautiful in photos, side photos, and the light catches it, and you just look glowy and stunning, but also chiseled. And it's nice, It's nice to have. But don't feel like it's a mandatory step in your daily routine. I don't wear contour all the time. I do it if I'm going to something important or I just want to zhuzh up whatever look I'm doing or whatever I'm doing. And I do contour on people, like for weddings or whatever I'm working on, and it does help to enhance their facial features. but I still do the light sheer layers and don't need to do the thick line, even for the photos, just enough to show and bring out who they are naturally. So just realize it all comes down to personal preference. It always will. But it's not, you don't gotta. You just don't gotta. But you can if you wanna. That's basically what it is. Now to bring it back. Bring it on back again. From the beginning. Do you need contour? No. Do you need to highlight? No. But you can contour. And contour subtly with light, thin layers. Under those cheekbones, feel around your face for those spots that are your deeper spots you want to put some shadows in, and highlight. Do you need to highlight? No. But you can. And there are subtle highlights. You don't have to go with a bright green highlight or a bright in-your-face highlight. You can lightly highlight on the top of your cheeks. You could do it on your Cupid's bow, on your nose, on your whatever. But it doesn't have to be nice and bright and shiny. But it can be just enough to enhance and pop up those features that you really want to bring out. Sink in the features with contour. Bring out the features with highlight. Highlighting and contouring like you're coloring. Feel your face. Touch your face. Feel those spots that you want to change. Oh, that sounded terrible. Don't do that. Feel around and see what you can change. Also, play. Do it at home when you're by yourself, just in case you're not comfortable. See where the best places that you contour and highlight are. See what feels the best for you. Just do you. And when we come back, we'll talk about eyebrows. Do I need a big eyebrow? Are my eyebrows too thin? Why did I pluck my eyebrows? Just wait and you'll see.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
You don't really need it, but it's fun to do, and it can really help bring out that inner beauty. And since we just talked about that, let's talk about some eyebrows. So, eyebrows. They change like the season changes. That was stupid. Okay. So, eyebrows change. I mean, when I was younger, everybody's plucking their eyebrows, like plucking the eyebrows, thin eyebrows. That was the thing. That was the thing that everybody did, and now they're regretting it because in the now, it's the big, bushy, full, beautiful eyebrows. I mean, look at Cara Delevingne. She's pretty. She's got some great eyebrows. Look her up, because her eyebrows are, right now, what everybody aspires to have their eyebrows be. Which is big, full, fluffy, natural, beautiful. Now, do you have to do anything to your eyebrows? No. No, you don't. I didn't do anything to my eyebrows for the longest time. But now I do, because I see the appeal of putting stuff in your eyebrows, and it really does kind of pull everything together. Sometimes I just do my eyebrows and nothing else. And it really makes me look a little more like I know what I'm doing with life. Like I've got my stuff together. But the influencers that you're seeing, once again, let's bring it back to them. They are doing these, like some of them have amazing eyebrows, and they go and they get their eyebrows microbladed, which you don't have to do. Don't feel like you gotta drop hundreds of dollars to do that. Don't do that. You don't need to, and maybe you won't like it, maybe the trends will change. So you don't have to do that unless you really want to do that. But it is a thing that they are doing, and that's a lot of times why their eyebrows look so good is because they did this microblading, which is basically tattooing your eyebrows on, but it's not permanent. It's like semi-permanent. It's kind of strange. Look it up. It's real weird, but it also looks really good. But don't feel like you have to do that. Now, another thing that they're showing you when you're looking at these Instagram videos or these YouTube videos, these beauty videos, is they use a pomade. A pomade, which is like a cream to do their eyebrows. And you do not need that. If you want these beautiful, bushy, realistic eyebrows, use a tinted eyebrow gel. Or a pencil, or even some powder in there. So, let me tell you what I do. First thing I do is I use a spoolie brush, which is basically those what they have inside the mascara tubes, the eyelash brushes. They're called spoolies. They're called spoolies. So I use a spoolie. Clean spoolie, brush my hair into the shape that I wanted. Then I take a little bit of a powder, fill in some areas that I feel are a little sparse and like I need a little more, coverage, a little more in there. And I do that. Or I use a pencil to do that depending, but that's completely up to you. Sometimes I don't even do this step. But after that, I take a tinted brow gel, which is usually on a very small spoolie, and I run that through. Make sure you have the right color for your hair because it is obvious when you have one that's not. But I run that through, and then I run a clear brow gel through. You don't need to do that. I do that just as a safety precaution that they stay on my face. And that's all I do. I run through it again with a clean spoolie just to get everything back into the place I like it, and I leave it there. That's it. That's all I do. Most people don't even do that much. I mean, I think my sister just uses a powder or a pencil, nothing over-the-top extravagant. Just kind of something simple and elegant, but her brows always look beautiful anyway. She does go get them waxed. I get mine waxed sometimes. Feel free if you want to. Feel free if you don't. I don't have the money to go out and do that. I don't have the time. So I just kind of let them grow, and they are monsters on my face that I love. And that's about it when it comes to my eyebrows. Now let's talk about your eyebrows. So, you don't really need this brow pomade. Brow pomade makes it kind of look like you've just straight drawn them on. And they're, like stickers on your face. Some people do that and they like that look. Some people like that real boxed off front with a real angular thing. And you don't need that. It does kind of look ridiculous sometimes, but I mean, if that's how you like your eyebrows, then go for it, but it really looks ridiculous sometimes. I mean, it looks like a sticker on your face, and sometimes it's a little too much, and maybe you need to dial it back a little bit. Now for color, go with something that is the color of your eyebrows. Go into a store. I would say go into a store to look for the right color. Don't so much just rely on eye and pick it off of online. Because a lot of times products are a little more warm than your own hair. Like I've used a lot of eyebrow products where it almost looks red in my eyebrows. I've got brown eyebrows. And it looks kind of reddish in there, and then it really throws off everything. It kind of looks like my eyebrows are not meant to be that way, and like you can tell, and it's weird. So go in, kind of play around with whatever testers or whatnot, and look at the color and, compare to yourself. Because you can pick the wrong color. I've done it. It's, it sucks because you spend the money and then you gotta go back and it's a whole thing. You gotta return it. It's real weird. But definitely take your time. Pick out the right color. Pick out the thing that's for you. And then go from there. And then go from there. So after you've picked out your color, pick out the product that you think is going to work best for you. I really think that tinted brow gels are the way to go, especially if you're just starting out, because it doesn't do a lot, but it does enough to kind of enhance. My mom, for instance, she didn't really fill in her eyebrows. She did a little bit, and then she asked for some tips. She said, what do you think? Why are your eyebrows looking like that? How do I do it? So I showed her a tinted brow gel, and that's all she uses now. That's her favorite thing. She just puts it on in the morning and goes. And it's it just really does help, and you don't need the pomade because that looks real thick. It looks thick in your eyebrows, and it looks like it's not your eyebrows. I mean, you can use it, once again, if you're going for that, but I definitely think sometimes it is too much. Pomades are too much. How much is too much? Pomades can be too much. They're a lot. I mean, if you got like no hair and you shave your eyebrows or something, you want to do it that way, then do you. But really, do it that way. Also, if you've got bright colored hair, if you've got bright red hair, bright pink hair, or yellow or green, and you want to go with a crazy color to complement your eyebrows like that, you can use a pomade and it might help you. Like if you really want something that's going to be complementary, I guess, in a way. Like you want something that's going to complement it. If you want the green eyebrows and you want that, don't dye them. Just use a pomade, or, fun fact, fun tip, you can use a colored mascara as kind of a tinted eyebrow gel if you want to go that route. And it really does help, and it looks great, but you don't have to wear a crazy color in your eyebrow if you have crazy color hair. You can go with a more natural brown, it still looks good. Don't feel like you have to. I mean, you can also do rainbow brow if you want. If that's you, and you got, I don't know, blonde hair, you want to do rainbow brow, go for it. Do you. Be you. But there is such a thing as too much. Don't cake on the gel. Don't cake on that, because you can see it in person. You can see it in person. Trust me when I say this. So, definitely do you, once again. But one thing that you kind of should look for are the trends. Like, I hate to say it, but that's kind of where we're getting our eyebrows from, or what people like, what the trends are, Who knows? We could go back to that real thin brow, and you don't know. I mean, but steer clear of some of the trends. I mean, there was that wavy eyebrow trend. And then I think like a couple years ago, there was a Christmas tree eyebrow trend where they turn their eyebrows into tinsel. And then there are wig eyebrows. That's a thing too. Those are kind of cool. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then do you. But don't go over the top. Also, don't feel like you need to conceal around your eyebrows. Don't feel like you need to do that. Because you don't. I mean, I used to conceal kind of underneath my eyebrow, but sometimes it looks really fake. And it looks way too bright underneath that eyebrow, or especially above, if you're putting it above. Because most of the time your concealer is going to be a little bit lighter than your natural foundation color. So if you're concealing around and you're trying to clean it up, it's a little bright. It's a little bright around there, and it really, draws your eye. Draws it in to the eyebrow. It's like, dang, girl. Them brows, though. Yeah. Off of that tangent. Eyebrows. For real. You can overdo it, but it's easy not to. Let your eyebrows grow out. Don't feel like it's necessary to fill it in, but sometimes it helps just kind of enhance a little bit. It's good if you're going to an interview. You don't wear makeup, but you maybe just put a little bit in your eyebrows. It looks a little more put together. That's cool. That's helpful. And honestly, like I said, sometimes that's all I do when I just feel a little better about myself, because I just put something in my eyebrows and they look nice. But also don't feel like you need to pluck them. You can overpluck, that is a thing, and a lot of times it doesn't grow back the way you want it to. So feel free to, pluck as you need, but don't feel free to, don't pluck, don't overpluck. Don't do it. A lot of us are still regretting it. I am. Don't overpluck. But also don't feel like it's necessary to continually always have plucked and groomed eyebrows. I don't pluck around my eyebrows a lot of times. I got the little ones that are a little too close to my eyelid, or they're a little high on my forehead, and that's okay. Because I don't have the time. Not all of you have the time and the money to just get your eyebrows professionally done all the time, or continue to just, pluck all day and make them fine. And a lot of times too, then if you just let them grow out and kind of be bushy, that's the trend. I mean, like I said earlier, Cara Delevingne, she's pretty. Once again, look her up. Her eyebrows are on point. I'm not going to say the other word. On point is the word I'm going to use. I'm not that hip. So, I really, really want to stress that eyebrows are not a necessary point. They aren't, but they do help kind of enhance. They're not necessary. I mean, you could do nothing and still look just the stunning, gorgeous, beautiful you that you are. You don't need it, but it really does help to enhance and make you look a little more put together if you do. And it's really up to you. Once again, that's kind of what it is. It's all up to you. It's all up to you what you want to do, and don't feel like you have to do what the Instagram people are doing. There is one more way that you can do your eyebrows that is really simple. You might not even have to go out and buy anything, which are called soap brows. They're pretty popular right now, and I do love the way that soap brows look, but also you can overdo that. You can definitely overdo that. So basically you take your spoolie, your clean spoolie, you comb them brows into the shape that you like, comb them right up, comb them right nice and pretty, and then you take like a bar of soap, like a bar of clear soap, and run it under water, roll your brush in, coat it with the soap, and then brush the soap through your brows. It kind of does the same as a clear brow gel, but it sets them in place really nicely and kind of makes them look nice and full. And that's a good way to do it without, breaking the bank or, having to go out and buy a product and figure out what color it is and this and that. And the soap brow trend is really popular, but you can overdo it. You can do so much brow like soap, so much soap brow that it looks real waxy and kind of like you got soap in your brows. Like it can be a lot sometimes. So I really do think that it is a good way to do brows for beginners, but you can overdo it. You can overdo it with any product. You really can. And if you're looking for that over the top way, pressed against your forehead eyebrows, like just, I don't know, Jim Carrey and the Grinch, if that's what you're going for, then go for it. Do what you want to do, but once again, you can overdo it, and it can get a little ridiculous sometimes. But do you. Do what makes you feel the best. Ew, that was weird. I really, really, really hope that what you're getting mostly out of this is you can overdo things, but at the same time, you just need to do things that make you feel good. Because makeup isn't, it's not meant to be one way or the other. It's not meant to be this way or has to be this way. There are trends, and people look at it like that, And I just want you to take away that you can be a beautiful you, just being you. Just being you. Now, before we go to a break, let's talk about our next topic. Lips. Can I pull off a red lip? Is green in season? Can I eat with glitter on my lips? Just wait and you'll find out.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
And to recap, we just talked about eyebrows and how you can overdo it and how you can't overdo it and the best ways to do it. We talked about soap brows, we talked about brow trends, we talked about Cara Delevingne and her beautiful brows. Now let's get into lips. Can I wear a red? Can anyone wear a red? Is it weird if I don't wear lipstick? Lickstip. Yep, that's what we're talking about. Lips. So, let's talk lips, man. I love lipstick. I have a lot of lipsticks. I love to put lipstick on people because it looks stunning and it takes a look from 0 to 100. Can you overdo lipstick? I mean, not as much as you can overdo other things. You can wear whatever color you want, whatever shade you want, and still look great. But sometimes it's kind of hard to be confident going out in those colors that you're not usually wearing. Now, the popular go-to by a lot of people on Instagram are bright reds or nudes. I like to wear a lot of nudes, but sometimes it's hard to find a nude that suits your undertone, your skin undertone. Because maybe that nice brownie nude that looked good on, I don't know, what's her face from Instagram or YouTube doesn't look the same on you and you're a little confused. It's because of your skin's undertone and it just doesn't do the same. So you really have to go out and look for something that's going to work for your skin tone. Now, I'm not a big fan of pinky nudes. I think they look too pink on me and sometimes I get a little red and so it doesn't look too good on me. So I tend to go towards more brown nudes, but a lot of times the brown nudes make me look dead because they're too cool tone. So you really have to go out and try things and figure out what works the best for you. Now, reds. Reds are hard. Reds look good on everybody. You gotta understand that a red looks good on everybody. Sometimes, once again, your skin tone does affect the red and what it looks like on you versus what it looks like on her or him or them or whoever, you know? But reds look good. It's just hard being confident when you go outside wearing a red when you're not usually wearing a red. And it's because you feel like everybody's looking at your lips. But fun fact, they're not. And it's okay. I get so nervous about everything. This is just my anxiety talking, but I get really nervous to wear weird colors and reds and bright colors, but a lot of the times I do it anyway just to, push the limit and feel that, try to give myself that confidence boost that, I need. And it really does help sometimes. I've been wearing a lot of darker colors. Right now it's around Christmas time. You could wear reds and it's normal because everybody's wearing a red because it's Christmas time. But once again, find something that's working best for your skin tone and try it. A lot of times, if you're going to wear a really dark smoky eye or a really, dark eye, you can go with a nude color and it's going to look really good and really beautiful. But you can also go with a red. You can go with a red, you could go with a black. I mean, you can do anything, but if you're going to do dark in the eyes, sometimes the best thing to do is to go nude on the lips, and vice versa. There are a lot of days where I wear maybe just a little brown in my crease and some mascara or just a wing liner, and those are the days you can go really bold, and it really make a statement with your lip color. You could go with a deep burgundy or a bright red or a green or a yellow even. You can go with pretty much anything with that kind of subtle eye look, because there are a lot of times where if you're wearing a dark color on your eyes, like a really dark, vampy, smoky eye, you can't wear some colors because they look a little off. If I'm wearing a deep black smoky eye, but it's blended out with some red, so it's a deep black and red, beautiful smoky eye, and I wear a blue lipstick, it's really gonna look weird. Or a green lipstick, it's just not gonna work, and that's kind of when it's too much. When it's too much is when you've kind of pulled those weird colors with different colors and they're just not meshing. You really want to go take a look at a color wheel. You know what? You really want to go and take a look at a color wheel. You can go opposites. Opposites are really good. You know, if you're wearing a blue eye, you could go with an orange lip and that would look so cool, or vice versa. You know, look at a color wheel, go opposites, and that's a lot of fun. But really, I encourage you to try and go out and take those bright colors. Take that weird colored off purple lipstick that your cousin gave you for Christmas and wear it. Wear that color, step out of your comfort zone, bring up your confidence, and remember, nobody is staring at your lips, even if it really feels like it. Because I promise you, sometimes it really feels like everybody's staring at you when you're wearing a lot of makeup or you're wearing a bright color or something out of your comfort zone. But I promise you, they're not staring at you. I mean, maybe someone's staring at you. I remember recently I was wearing this deep purple color, something that I wouldn't usually wear because I just wasn't comfortable with it. But I have so many lipsticks, you know, and I have some that are my personal collection, not just in my kit. And I was like, well, I should wear this. I shouldn't waste it. I should wear it. So I wore it and I felt real uncomfortable. But somebody came up to me and they were like, you know what? I really like your lip color. And I was just through the moon. I was flattered. It looked really good and I felt really good because she thought it looked good. You know? And it's those kind of little things that really help boost that confidence that I know you kind of need. Everybody kind of needs a little confidence boost here, there, a little pat on the back, a little, hey, you know what? You look great. And I promise you, you take that beautiful lip color and you put it on and you walk to the supermarket. You go to your kids' parent-teacher conference. You walk your dogs in the park. I don't know, watch TV. Do whatever you want in that beautiful color to help boost your confidence a little bit. It'll really help. You can wear red. Anybody can wear red. Anybody can wear any color. It's just completely up to you what you decide to do. What you decide to wear, it's completely up to you again. And once again, skin tones can help you find the perfect colors for you. You may not think every color looks good on you, even though anything looks good on you. I mean, once again, take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in that car mirror. Take a look at yourself in whatever, I don't know, your phone screen. You're beautiful. You are stunning. You are the pinnacle of beauty. And a fun lip color can help bring out even more hidden beauty. Maybe you find out that you look great in a red. Maybe you find out that this is your thing. Weird lip colors are your thing. But you can't find that out unless you try. Unless you go and you try and you take that step. Take that stride forward to fun. The fun stride forward. I don't know, all aboard the fun train? I really, really encourage you to do that. And I really want to say that, you can go overboard with the lips. And a lot of times, there's cool lip art out there and glitter lips are a thing. That's a thing now. Lip gloss is a thing. And you can try it all, and it's okay. Can you eat with glitter on your lips? Yes, you can, but it will get everywhere. I promise you. And glitter lips are cool and fun, and you can overdo it. You can put too much glitter on to the point where it looks like you got real thick, I don't know, chunky lips. And so you can go overboard, but I promise you, it's a lot harder to go overboard with something like this than it is with your eyebrows or your base makeup or anything like that. And so you do have a lot of wiggle room, a lot of playroom when it comes to lip color. You've got lip pencils, you've got liquid lipsticks, which can be drying once again. If you've got a lot of dry lips, moisturize underneath or just stick with a regular lipstick, something that's a little more shiny, a little more moisturizing. You can do just chapstick and that's fine too. Lip glosses are really popular. There are a lot of lip glosses with glitter now too, and that's a thing that could be really cool. Maybe that's something that you like and you didn't know. You just gotta take the leap and try it. I really think that you should do you when it comes to lips. I mean, you should do you when it comes to everything, but I really think that lips are a big thing that you can just kind of go and do and, you know, stretch that comfort zone, stretch the line between, you know, regular you and, I don't know, hidden party fun time you? I really think that you should try. And you can't go overboard. I mean, you can if you're like putting on 100 layers of lipstick, but honestly, it's a lot easier to play around and do weird things and all sorts of stuff. Look at other people's stuff that you like. Overline, I don't know. Do stuff like that. That stuff's fun. Do things that are going to be best for you and try a red. Really try a red. I really think that the best thing that you can do for yourself is try a fun lip color. Do a fun look. You can go overboard, but it's harder to. It's harder to go overboard with your lips than anything else. So to take it back, bring it around town. Take it, bring it around, take it back. Let's take it back for a second. Okay. So, when we're talking about lips, anybody can wear any color, but your skin tones really can help you decide what colors are best for you. Like I said, some browns make me look dead because they're a little too cool tone for my skin color, but if my friends wear them, they look stunning. So really, it's up to you. But you can wear that dead color if that's the color you're looking for. You can wear an orange, you can wear a blue, you can wear a yellow, you can wear whatever color you want, and it's okay. And glitter lips, you can eat with them, but it is a mess. It is a mess to eat with glitter lips, but I promise you, you'll have fun trying it. I really, like, the moral of this section, this tip, these lip tips are just to do you. To really try and get out of your comfort zone, to find something that you really enjoy doing. And maybe something that you didn't know you looked good in. I honestly thought I looked bad in a lot of lip colors, and now I'm finding all sorts of new avenues and fun ways to wear lip colors. Really, really take your time and look around. Just remember that because somebody's got a different skin tone than you, it's probably not going to look the same on your lips. So definitely do your research there. Go into stores. I'm an advocate for telling people to go into stores because it's a lot easier to see the true color than it is on a screen. And for this next section, I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I like to do, and I'd like to also talk to you about some products that I really think could help you along the way of your beautiful and lovely and stunning makeup journey. If you're old, if you're young, if you're, I don't know, nuts, crazy, a little cuckoo in the head, I got some stuff that you might like.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now, don't bother, what's hot on Netflix, and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Talked about lipsticks and how you can always wear red. Anybody can wear red. We talked about how your skin tone does affect the color and you may not look like everybody else's color, but you're still beautiful. And I talked about trying your hardest to step out of your comfort zone when it comes to color with lips. Now let's talk about some tips and some products that I like. Just some stuff that I do and stuff that I think that you would honestly like. So first off, moisturize. If you got dry skin, moisturize the heck out of your skin before you put on any sort of foundation. You need a barrier between your skin and the makeup, because a lot of times I've found that when it comes to, like I have sensitive skin. I got sensitive skin. But when it comes to just putting makeup straight on your face, it can irritate. So definitely put a barrier between your skin and that. So primers are good too. A lot of times it's, primers don't do a lot, but they can help. I use a hydrating primer. If you've got dry skin like me, I use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And that really helps to lock in my foundation on top of just locking in, moisture. And sometimes I just wear that and nothing else. And it really does, make me feel glowy and hydrated and great. It also works for oily skin, but definitely for dry skin, I promise you that'll be helpful. Also, if you have dry skin, a pore minimizing primer might not be the best for you. But if you have oily skin, pore minimizing primers are awesome. They look really nice. They really, blur the effects of pores. They blur the pores. They make you look flawless. And if you've got oily skin, it really helps to trap those oils and not make you look like a grease ball all day. So that's one thing. Primer's a big thing. I really recommend a primer. Now, when it comes to contouring, go in, look at some stuff, because a lot of times things are too cool tone for you or too orange. I'm very pale, so a lot of things come off just too warm, too red toned, too orange toned for me. So definitely go in and look at products when it comes to stuff like that for contouring. Highlighting too. A lot of times highlights can be too dark for the skin or too light for the skin, and you can't tell by a photo. It's really, I really want to emphasize going and, looking at the products for yourself. But do be advised that if you're going to somewhere like Sephora, their lights are never great, and sometimes the product can look different. So get a sample. And then bring it home and then try it in different lights. Your best friend / critic is the mirror of truth, aka your car mirror. Your car mirror will show you everything. You may look great when you do it inside, and then you go and you look in your car mirror and you're like, ooh, is that me? Did I do that? Your car mirror is your best friend. Trust me. Is it a product? Can I add that as a product? Your car mirror? The mirror of truth? No, I don't think that's a product. But I definitely think that it is helpful to go look in a car mirror or go outside and look in a mirror. Something like that, because it really does show you, the truth of what you're looking at. So, for product-wise, I have some lipsticks. Let's start with lipsticks, since that's what we talked about last. Definitely, if you're looking for a very pigmented, in a wide variety of changed lipsticks, something that's matte, but not, crunchy, doesn't make you feel like all the moisture is being sucked out of your lips, go for the Jeffree Star Velour liquid lipsticks. I heard about these online and I saw them and I'm like, wow, they come in all these colors and they're so cool. And I finally caved and bought one, and honestly, I'm never going back, because they are stunning. They are stunning. They are a bit on the pricier side, but they are some of the best liquid lipsticks that I've ever gotten. Other than that, there are definitely drugstore brands, cheaper brands that I recommend, like NYX. They're in Walmart and Target, especially Target. I think Target has a huge thing. Ulta, and their lip products are really good as well. Some of their liquid lipsticks are not the best, but a lot of them are really good, and their glosses are good. And just them as a brand is a really good brand for being as cheap as they are. I definitely want to recommend for eyebrows, since we talked about eyebrows, the Kush Brow Gel by Milk. I use a lot of Milk products because they're really good for the skin. And I have really sensitive skin, and I try to cater even my own kit to people with sensitive skin because you never know what's going to upset somebody's skin. So going for stuff that's got a lot of skincare and stuff like that in it really helps. So I like a lot of Milk makeup products. I use the Kush Brow. I use the color Dutch, I think, but they've expanded their color line, and on top of that they also have they have a clear brow gel, and I really, really like it. I think it's one of the best brow gels I've ever used. Once again, on the pricey side, NYX has one that's just as good, but they are really good. Now, for clear brow gel, though, I use e.l.f., which is like $1 to $3, and their clear brow gel is good, but with that one you can overdo it, and it is a bit much. Another thing that I like from Milk is their Kush mascara. Now, everything in their Kush line has, I believe, CBD in it, and that really helps with the growth of eyelashes and the growth of your eyebrows. And I've worn a lot of mascara, and for some reason every mascara makes my eye itch, but the Kush mascara does not. I wore that on my wedding day, fun fact. I did. So I really recommend almost everything from Milk. I haven't had a single issue with anything that I've used from them, and I really like them. For you oily girls, they have a blurring stick, a blur stick, I think, that's like a primer, and that one's great. That one's absolutely great, especially if you are on the oilier side. It looks stunning. It's fantastic. They also make mini sizes, which is nice, so if you want to try something, you can buy the cheaper mini size, and that's great. But, they do have the big sizes if you really are committed and you like, you like that product. I do want to talk too I want to talk about prices. Now, makeup is pricey. Makeup is expensive. But you don't have to be expensive. You can use cheap stuff and still look great. You don't need to buy all these products that these Instagram models and these people are trying to get you to buy. You don't need to use those products. You can do the same eye look, the same base makeup, the same almost everything with stuff that is a lot cheaper. I recommend going to Target. Target has a great makeup section right now, and a lot of it is really affordable. They have been starting to carry some more expensive stuff, but a lot of it is really, really affordable, and I really recommend for the person on a budget to go to Target and kind of look around, because they have a lot of fun options. Honestly, you can do anything with any product. Some products are really difficult to work with, but it's different for every single person. And I'm coming from a standpoint of being a makeup artist, and I do have to work on people of all skin types, all skin tones, stuff like that. So I have to keep a lot of makeup, and it gets really pricey, so I do use a lot of drugstore stuff. I use a lot of drugstore stuff because that stuff is cheaper, but it also performs just as well. They've been upping their game with drugstore stuff, and it performs just as well. I really want to stress that you don't have to spend a lot of money, and it's okay. But sometimes you can spend money and splurge on yourself, that's cool, but that's totally up to you. Once again, I want to talk and say that makeup is relative. It all is based on what you like and what you're thinking about, what you want to do. If you want to wear yellow brush, if you want to wear yellow blush, if you want to wear yellow blush, excuse me, I'm having some sort of word vomit. If you want to wear yellow blush and you want to wear it right under your eyeballs, then you do that. If you want to just enhance a little bit of your natural beauty, then do that. If you're a little older and you need a little bit of help in the under eye department or whatever, just do that. Use light, thin, sheer layers. Especially when it comes to my older gals, guys, aliens, all y'all. When it comes to people who are a little bit older, if you're in that age group, definitely use light, thin layers. Use products like Bobbi Brown is really good. If you've got that, they've got some really good products for older skin. Things with a lot of skincare really help if you've got a little bit older skin, a little bit more. I don't want to say crepey skin. That's just what happens when you get older. That's what happens to your skin. I help my mother out a lot with stuff like that, and Bobbi Brown is really one of those brands that helps. But once again, it's relative, and it's to whatever you want. If you are 85 years old and you want to wear bright pink eyeshadow and a blue lip, girl, you go for it. You do you, girl, guy, alien, whoever you are. You do you. And I appreciate every single thing that you do, and you are beautiful. You look in that mirror and you look at yourself and you say, man, I'm stunning. Because girl, you're stunning. Boy, you stunning. Alien, you stunning. Whoever you are stunning. And just because I'm telling you these tips doesn't mean you have to wear makeup, doesn't mean you have to do this or that. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, whatever you like. Be you. Be uniquely you all the time, forever. Just be you. Now, I want to thank you for listening to this GSMC Beauty Tips podcast that's obviously brought to you by GSMC Podcast Network. I want to thank you for hanging out with me, Colleen. I want to remind you that you can subscribe to the show. You could write a nice review. You could follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of that. I want to remember you can do any of that. Helps us out. Helps you out to find us if you want to hear more. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being uniquely, beautifully you, and I will see you again later. Have a great day. Make good choices. Bye.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.